Hey friend, welcome back to the channel. I'm Claudio. I'm a holistic professional. I help psychic mediums, healers, and intuitive coaches build holistic careers and navigate the digital arena. Quick background about myself if this is the first time you're here. We are going to be approaching, I think, a controversial topic. And before we go in that, I'll really ask for you to stay and view this video in the entirety. The context is extremely important, and I want you to get the whole picture. And I also want you to know that this is my own experience, and I paid a lot of money, may most likely over $20,000, not including flights and everything else in between in the airports, and my own personal time. This will be a personal sharing about my approach to spirituality, my experience with spirituality, and meeting thousands of people in spirituality. And when I mean spirituality, it's about developing the psychic science, the mediumship science, the healing science, trance sciences, and everything to do with spirit. Talking to people who have transitioned, what's called the dead people in normal terms. But actually there's no death in the end. There's just a transition from one side to the other to another kind of understanding, and really there's really no death in the end. And this is my own personal experience. I respect your views. So this is not to change your mindset about something. Wherever you are in this world, no matter your beliefs, your creed, wherever you come from, you are welcome here. What you're about to hear is just a personal testimonial of my own experience with spirituality and what I thought it was. And well, boy, you're in for a huge journey. And I think a lot are also sharing similar thoughts to mine. I mainly had to deal with European spirituality. When I look at other continents, the Asian spirituality, the American spirituality, it seems to have a different approach where people in that field are really respected and are taken seriously. And they seem to be at large more flexible with how they work, with their own mindsets, and they are fine with finding their own individuality and not in many ways taking a herd mentality, as personally I have witnessed in Europe and especially in the UK. And I say that with respect and with care and with love. And I have the right to speak my own about my own experiences. And I'm not pinpointing anybody. Everybody stay safe. I'm not mentioning you or anyone else or John or Alex or whatever. Okay, this is not something to for you to be fearful of. This is one guy's personal experience. I since the day I was born, I was always a rebel. I never conformed to rules. I grew up in Romania. I grew up as in a poor family of farmers, and I lived there since I was 7. And I learned important lessons. I learned how to live life without having nothing and appreciating what you have, and whatever you had, that was the best you could have. And I learned to trust my grandparents, and I learned to trust my environment. And when I look now at how technologized everything it is, and we barely had a TV in the house. We had no phone at all. My toys were we were playing in with kids in the village. There were 40 kids, and we were all playing with rocks and bricks. And some others they had some toys, and we were all very jealous about that. And it was just a dream. Our dream was having a bicycle. If you had a bicycle, you made it in life. Suddenly, some of us started to get some, and we were all sharing one. 50 kids sharing one bicycle. So just so you know where I come from, and today I I've been traveling the world. I'm 36 right now. I've been traveling since I was 18, and I've been through all major continents of the world. I have been working for myself in technology. I've been helping businesses and individuals to leverage technology to improve their business. So I had all the roles you can imagine: web designing, programmer, cybersecurity, social engineering, cloud architectures, AI, everything you can imagine. Sales also. My grandparents have been in sales. My family is in sales. So I grew in this sales mentality, but we never approached somebody on the street to sell them something. We always run independent businesses. They had bars and grocery shops. So everybody was coming to us. to get their needs addressed. And my grandparents also were giving and caring, so they gave to people who didn't really have. And in the end, the whole village turned out that, well, most of the villager actually, when the business had to shut down, they didn't have to pay their debts, and nobody went after them. So in my family, we do have this notion of giving and trying to be understanding of people. And in my work, I have always been trying to be understanding and to give. And for more than 20 years, honestly, I've been taken for a fool by most of my peers, by most of my friends. Because you see, growing up in Romania, if you're somebody who comes from a place of love, they may think you're a fool or idiot or something like that. Because I think the mentality changed in the recent years. But if you're somebody who is honest, it's just such a foreign topic to talk about. Everybody just was looking at that time to screw up everybody. So yeah, I had many interesting friends and many interesting experiences, and they all benefited. So I think I did my fair part of charity work. Okay. So because I wanted to address the charity part as I'm going into spirituality, because these days, yeah, I charge for my work. Today I help psychic mediums, I help healers, I help intuitive coaches, teachers in this field. Everybody wants to go digital, they want to go on the internet, and they don't know how to do it. And I transitioned my work into this field because you see, spirituality and healing and understanding that I am much more than bones, that I'm much more than brain, that understanding my emotions and the other people's emotions and living a life feeling other people's emotions. It was only natural that I will default onto this mode of working. So I left behind my 20 years experience in working in traditional tech to work in this holistic field, because that's what makes me happy. And I always work independently, I work for myself. And today I am happy to say that I still work for myself, and I work with wonderful people just like yourself. And it's been the greatest joy to connect and to share and to understand where people are in life. And really, that's what I really appreciated always, was to connect with people. And it's not always about making money, it's about understanding each other, it's about different topics that we might have. So I believe this can give some perspective of where I come from, some of my values. Yes, I'm the generous type. Yes, I also charge for my work because it costs money for me to develop too. So I have to charge. It costs money for me to eat. It costs money for me to help other people. When I do charity work, then I have to give money from somewhere. So in my work, this it's possible that I will get paid for my service, and then I will donate some of that money. That's how I live my life. And I don't have to make it public about that. And not only people, I also help animals, dogs, cats, everything. So this is going to some of my mediumship friends that, indirectly they may feel that I lost my humanity or something when I'm asking them to go and charge people for their service. But anyway, this is enough for my background. I don't want to bore you too much. Let's go into the whole thing. Most of my life I was aware that there is something much more into this world, and there were things and sounds and understandings and knowings and gut feelings and knacks for something, that there's something that other people cannot see. And I always felt the alien one around my family growing up and later on in life, and with the people I interacted and in school everywhere. And I felt like I'm extremely sensitive for some reason. I felt other people pain, I felt their thoughts, I felt what was my goal with them, and I did not understand what it was. When I was growing up in Romania in the village, I think I was 5 or 6. We used to have the traveling nomad gypsies, and there was one lady, and she was doing tarot readings, and that was the first time I experienced that, and it was absolutely extraordinary. I didn't have money, or I didn't dare to ask my grandmother to have me have a reading with her, but I would have deeply liked one. And you know what she charged? She wasn't doing it for free. She charged, and we were a very, very, very poor community, but she charged and she had some clients. It was mostly young ladies wanting to know when they get married and stuff. But look, I thought it was like the most incredible thing at that time for me. I didn't have access to any resources. There was no internet, nothing on TV. We were an ex-communist country. We just had one TV channel, the national channel, and nothing to do with psyches, nothing to do with energy, nothing to do with spirit, nothing. um so that was then. And have some memories of my great grandmother that she was involved in it too. But she passed when I was 3 or 4, so a lot of our her knowledge was gone, and I had to go on not knowing some of the things that she might have been working with, that maybe would have been helping me too to understand not to be afraid, right? And we didn't have psychologists at that time in that area. Maybe they were in the capital, but who can afford one to talk to somebody? And at school, we're just getting beat up to do our homework and stuff, and that's the whole story. So I had to live life like that for a long period, and I believe I always did this soul searching for a very long time, this inner searching. And finally, in 2018, after going through a lot of personal challenges in my ex relationship at the time, of contemplating life and death, and eventually being able to afford a psychologist, I realized that I have unique needs. I realized that there's something much more, that my case is not something you can read in a book about, that my case is not a template, that this is the pill for everybody and you can take it too. It just wasn't. And the psychologist I saw, it was just not helping. So in 2018, fate, life made it in a way that I arrived in Peru, and I went to Iquitos in the Amazon, and I met my teachers there in the indigenous shamans, and we had ceremonies there with ayahuasca, and we dieted different plants over time. And I understood some things about myself, and I understood the spirit, and I understood how everything is connected, and I understood why why something happened in my life in the way it did, and how that helped me, and how my emotion actually were meant to help me and to help others. You might see here a video about this experience, but today we'll speak about spirituality in general. After that experience, I felt that I should go to this college. It's called the Arthur Findlay College in Stansted, close to London, UK. And I was so excited. I was just experiencing the most incredible things in my life. No meditation, nothing will have given me what I experienced in Peru. And I just wanted to settle down a little bit to integrate myself into the world. And I wanted to possibly connect with like minded people. Before that, I had the opportunity to go to a shamanic festival in Netherlands. Uh, I rented a tent there. I stayed for maybe 4 or 5 days, cannot recall, or it was a week, I cannot recall. And it was all like-minded people. Maybe it was 20,000 people, and they all had this openness towards spirituality. They all had this openness towards something more. There was wonderful healing music. There were dancing, ecstatic dancing. I never knew about that before. It was a fabulous time. And it was, it was a different generation of younger people, maybe in their teens, maybe in their 20s, 30s, 40s. I saw a little bit of different generation people too, a little bit elderly. I will call them wise people, but predominantly it was more younger people, different generation. It was fabulous time, and I felt like, oh, this must be spirituality. And I don't talk about religion; I just talk about spirituality today. So I felt like, wow, this is fabulous. This is what I've been seeking all my life: a community of no judgment, of embracing each other where we are from. Of course, there must be respect, that we need to respect each other's space and freedoms, and treat each other kindly. I like that. Uh, anyway, later on, I ended up at this college in London, the Arthur Findlay College, and I stayed there for a month. So they hold courses every week, and I stayed there for 4 weeks, and I did not know what to expect. And look, before we dig deeper, it costed me a lot of money to get there. Maybe the flights were like $500, and you also have to take different trains when you're in London, and it's very expensive, not including food. Um, and one week at that time, I think it was 700 something pounds. but I chosen to stay a single room, so that's an extra. So maybe it was 800 something pounds. Not quite sure, cannot remember. But I know it increased its fees to 900 something or more or less. I cannot recall. I don't want to go there anymore. But see it as maybe my expense was around 3,000, 4,000 US just staying there at the college for 4 weeks. And I did not know what to expect. I went there. It was just this fabulous building. I was like, wow, this is exciting. And I got there, like spirituality virgin, so to call. And I'm not sure what to do because I'm a little bit earlier. And I thought it's like any reception when you pay money, but just gave me a paper and told me to come later when the check-in is open and just go and enjoy the bar and drop my bag somewhere. I thought there would be somebody to guide me, to tell me, okay, this is what it is. This building, we do this. This is the bar. This, I did not know anything. I just had to just randomly go myself through different rooms. Not good service, I will say. So finally, I get my key and stuff, and I get the flyer, and it was an investigating paranormal at that time, and mediumship and psychic work. It was overall a fun week. I met a lot of wonderful people there. Um, but I met some interesting individuals, I will say too. Um, and I learned that not everything I know is for everybody. I learned that spirituality is not what I thought, um, or at least there, or at least maybe I was not so blessed in my weeks there. Um, I felt that spirituality is something we do in the classroom, and we make efforts to be kind, and then screw each other. And there's also all these kind of circles of everybody who knows each other, and everybody knew is just an outsider. Let them be. So it could be difficult to make connections, especially if you're more of an introvert. And I thought spirituality should be a little bit more warmer, maybe more inclusive. But anyway, the first week, when I started the first week, I just openly told everybody, hey, I don't know why I'm here for. This is my experience. I did this and this in Peru. And the tutor, one lady at the time, she said to me, well, yeah, LSD, drugs, drugs, drugs. We don't talk about these things here. That's it. So what can I talk about then? I was there paying a lot of money to be there. I had a reading with her privately, and well, the lady was kind enough to tell me not to take it personal because at this place they have something called rewards and titles and symbols and badges of honor or something. So they also have regulation done by their spiritualist national union or something. I did not know what that is. They have some spiritual churches. I did not know what that is. I just came there, paid money to learn something. I don't know why I have to do politics. I don't understand why. That was not the point for me. So eventually told me not to take it personal, that they cannot be as free as me, the people teaching there. Okay. But I'm a customer, so maybe don't be so harsh, right? And we're all trying to be spiritual people here, or learning. We're finding our own spirituality in our own way. Um, yeah, anyway, I took it as a massive slap in my face, the whole experience in my first week. And I was lucky that I met one guy. I haven't met him. He just left after that. I think he's in Thailand these days, just different mindset. He's an American guy. Not gonna say his name. I don't want to put names out there, but he was a fun guy, nice guy, open guy. He thought I was into men, but I actually like women. So maybe he's seeing this. um, but he told me, hey, you know what, Claudio, don't take all of these things personal. These people don't understand what you're sharing with them. They are just different kind of generations of people. They are different. People have different experiences in their life. You experience something, and it's hard for somebody else to understand what you're talking about or to accept whatever you may be talking about. Maybe some things are just meant for you, or for you to find your own tribe, your own people to be around. And that was it. And you know what, I'm thankful. I'm very thankful to him. And I think there was a few more people who shared with me similar things in private, not in public, in private. But there were some fun people. We also talked to each other. I didn't really feel judgment from them personally. It was okay week, I would say. Second week, and yeah, it was a trance week. I never knew what that is. But I was looking at people disappearing from the chairs, meditating. That was, I don't smoke something, or drink alcohol or something. So I could not believe it. It's just incredible experiences that happen. It was a fabulous time. And I also found a ghost in my room at some point. And I'm making another video about that. I just woke up and he was there sitting on my chair. So there are some fun times also with spirituality and good memories and good people that I have met. And at large, yeah, I met good people. But here's the shift: if you're quiet, if you just go and study and you just listen to, not all the teachers, but some teachers have more influence than the others in that field and in their movement. And if you listen to them and if you agree with them, and you know how it is, the power is in the strength. So if somebody with authority at that time I say something, then that's what we all eat that day. Unless you're a glitch in the system like myself. So I might see something, I might not say anything about it, but I can have my own opinion just as I'm having my own thoughts right now. In some of the evenings, I heard one of them saying that we are all here trying to fight each other as mediums to see which one is better than the other. And yeah, this is a competition to see who has the best readings and who has the best demonstrations. And I just felt that has nothing to do with why I was there for. I don't care about that. What I actually care is about helping each other to be the best we can be, to encourage each other, to help people in need, to encourage each other to get in front of a camera like myself and share our knowledge, share value that can help people. That's what I believe in. I don't know. It was just a sour night. Um, and then there were a lot of discussions and things and insights that just didn't stay with me well. And really, once somebody says something and they're in a position of power, then we all have to follow that. And there's a lot of controversial topics going on in this place at this Arthur Finley. Um, Many of the teachers are on a strike. Um, I think you have to look at what you need. I'll just keep it that way. But if somebody leaves or it's in a break, then there must be some discontent about something. But I don't do politics, and I wish everyone involved the best. But personally, I have chosen where I spend my money, and if I want to study with some of them, I'll just go privately wherever they might be and study under their guidance. I think a lot of them are really fabulous. I really do. Um, so yeah, going back to spirituality, I just felt a lot of angry people there. Found a lot of angry people. I don't know. Maybe there was something going on in their private lives, their health, or something. I do not know. Um, there were some kind people too, but at large, I felt and I found a lot of sadness, a lot of anger, and spikiness. You can see it on some of their faces too. You can feel it in some of their energies too. I was totally lost, really, because that's not what I was there for. Well, in the end, you have to respect people where they are and what they want to do. And I think a lot of people haven't done a lot of whole work on their personal development, but they are happy to go and help others, but not help themselves. And I believe you should help yourself first. Try to understand yourself first and deal with some issues that might be going, and do your own inner healing. I think it should be done, or at least some sort of starting the journey of healing, at least before working with somebody else or developing spirituality. I don't see it the other way. And I think many, not just at the college but worldwide, I think there's a lot of people who need to do a lot of personal development, and for some reason they run away from it. It must be scary to face yourself, I guess. I had to die to face myself. And I'll do it again. I'll do it a million times if necessary. It's fine. And I'm not perfect. I don't strive to be perfect. I'm on my journey myself too. But crazy things started to happen as I was trying to understand why the fees of the teachers there for a reading are so low. It was like $40, 50, no, 40 pounds something. So that would be 50, 60 US dollars for a 30, 40 minutes reading. Because I thought it's going to be in the hundreds. They deserve to be in the hundreds. And I did not understand it then. But today I do understand why. And then, you know what? Most of the people who teach, they don't do private sittings, as they will call them, or a private reading. They don't do them. So it's teaching, 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 but no readings, readings. There might be some readings in the context of training. Then you might get a reading that way, or a public demonstration. What may be known as a group reading, where there's an audience, you might get the message. So I did not know. And then I also did not see a lot of younger people coming either into this field. And maybe one of the reasons is this, that it doesn't pay. And the teachers, I think a lot of the teachers don't offer readings because maybe they don't want to be judged, because nobody wants to waste their time for 30, $40. I think they should be charging much more than that. And I think they are afraid of judgment that they charge. And I have felt this slap in my face also as I started to be more public, as I started to talk about why we should actually charge and charge fairly for our time. And some of my peers and some people that I don't know, they started to, I don't know, like a lot of avalanche of negative comments and negative thoughts. And I think it's easy to forget that we're all trying to do good in this world. And I feel spirituality should be helping each other and encouraging each other. Like if I choose to pay to get paid for my service, um, at least come to me from a spiritual friendship and tell me that, maybe it's good sometimes to offer for free. I trust where you are, Claudio, and I also trust my journey. I prefer to give for free. And if you lost your humanity or something, it's your choice. I'm not here to judge you. I think I would have liked it that way better. Um, and I think there's much more to this spirituality thing. And I think spirituality is where you find it. It's not in any building, it's not in anyone else. The whole spirituality is within you. And what works for you, nobody can tell you. Only you will be able to find the gateways to that. So I feel the key is finding your own spirituality in any way you see it fit. And there will be judgment, massive judgment, and there will be acceptance too. But the most important is that you need to accept yourself, and that your duty is not to make anyone else happy but yourself. And if you want to help people, then the right people will come and seek out your help and find your help and find you. And nobody else needs to give you a badge of honor or a title or anything. So I wanted this to be a more of a quick sharing about the experiences. I think it's a nice place, Arthur Finlay. You can go develop if you want to develop. Um, just a little bit, be cautious a little bit. There's different people from different areas of life. If you are somebody more open-minded, maybe you're not too welcome there. That's all there is. Or maybe you'll have a wonderful experience. Well, I can only talk about my experience, and that's all there is. And yeah, I think I overpaid. um, so I think this is it for today, friends. If this is something you would like to know more about, then maybe I'll make another topic about it later.